We all die. That is a truth of life. Everyone who takes birth will die someday. Then, what makes life valuable? What is the point of all this when one day we will all have to die? The answer is quite simple: memories. Small things that happen in our day to day life, having chocolate, spending time with people, laughing along your friends, being happy with your family, going through tough time with your family. It is the people around us and the memories they all form with you is the answer, and the simple reason we all live. We all form memories of someone, sometimes good and sometimes bad. Our experiences with every individual is quite different as per our perceptions and time with them. But one thing is for sure: we remember people how we want to remember them. Goodbye Harry is a manga which covers quite a variety of topics, which are rather hard to tackle normally. Topics such as identity, uniqueness, and the most important of them, memories. The story follows a boy named Yuta, who, like everyone, has a love for films. On his 12th birthday, he receives a smartphone as a gift, and because he loves films, he starts recording on his smartphone. His mother is later revealed to have an illness, and she asks him to record her until her final moments. Yuta, trying to avoid the topic of his mother's chronic illness, still, nonetheless, records her. He puts his blood, sweat, time, and hard work into recording and making a documentary of his mother's final moments. The movie is then screened at his high school, which ends with an explosion, literally, in his mother's hospital. Yuta feels really proud of the movie he made. He feels really excited to gather reviews on the movie, only to hear negativity about his movie. Even his teacher screams at him, saying that he should not have made fun of her mother's death. It feels just as if Fujimoto inserted himself in the story here. His previous works, such as Fire Punch, were seemed to be made ugly due to his unique style of storytelling and art. Yuta, in the same way, has a unique style of making movies. They both get mocked for the art they put the sweat and hard work in. Yuta gets so depressed by the negativity that he even records a video of him stating that he wants to unalive himself. The uniqueness of Yuta is so out of the normal societal standards that people make so much fun of him, pushing him to even thinking of doing the unthinkable. Just when Yuta goes on to commit the deed, he meets someone, Harry, a fan of his work. She takes Yuta with him to force him to watch movies so he can make even better movies. She liked Yuta's movie Dead Explosion Mother, yes, it's the official name, just because of its uniqueness. She tells Yuta that he is unique and that she liked his movie because it stood out of the normal bland movies that come out these days. It highlights how Yuta has a strength which even he does not recognize: uniqueness. Harry asks Yuta to make another movie, for which Yuta is quite confused. He forgets his roots subconsciously due to the recent incident and negativity with his mother's movie. Yuta asks his father, what is the first thing that comes to mind when he thinks of Yuta? His father replies by saying movies, and then proceeds to say how Yuta has a uniqueness, always adding a touch of fantasy in whatever he makes. He even drew a dragon on his father's head, and it's his style. He asks Eri what made her like his movie. Eri answers by saying how the movie progressed just like a touching story would until the explosion in the end, which felt cathartic to her. She also highlights how beautifully Yuta shot his mother and follows up by saying the most likable character in the movie was none other than Yuta himself. She says the next movie should be about him, the best character. Yuta decides to make a documentary on a protagonist who could not record his mother's final moments, but meets a vampire who will die soon, and proceeds to make a movie of the vampire. When Yuta decides to make another movie for Eri, there comes a deep scene in the manga. Eri asks Yuta's father in court if he makes a bad movie, it will get mocked and treated like a plaything. To which Yuta's father replies, creation is all about getting into the audience's problems to make them laugh and cry, right? Well, it wouldn't be fair if creators didn't get hurt too, would it? This is such a simple and well established principle, yet we all forget it somewhere down the road. Whether you're an artist, a filmmaker, a mangaka, a farmer, or anything, or an artist in general, sometimes your work may not be as you desired it to be. Sometimes you may make mistakes, and people might perceive it differently from what you wanted to create. But you should remember, it is all a part of the journey. Failures, problems, difficulties, they all come in the journey of you becoming who you want to become. This one line in the manga answers the questions people have when facing tough times, that the tough time is simply a part of the journey. If you have read the manga, you may know that in the latter half of the one shot, it turns out that Yuta's mother was just an abusive mother who gifted Yuta a smartphone so that she could have fame for herself. She was a producer, and she thought that after she survives the disease, it would break the TV. It is at that point of the manga that we realize just how great of a storyteller Yuta actually is. He made everyone, including us, the readers, believe that his mother was such a great person. He shot each second of her beautifully. Each moment, each second was shot how he wanted to think of her, how he wanted us to remember her. Despite his mother being abusive, he only showed his mother's positive side. He wants to remember the other side of his mother, which, despite being abusive most of the time, the moments in which his mother actually talked to him as a mother, it was these moments that Yuta decided to remember, and not the moments of pain and agony with his mother. After this, Yuta proceeds to film Eri. He seems to get an art block, again forgetting who he was and what made him himself. It is after some time that Eri reminds him that he should add a pinch of fantasy in the movie. And in the end, the film does end with a pinch of fantasy, which is Yuta's style and, well, unique. It takes some years for him to realize it. With the help of the film, he remembers Eri, not how she was, but how he wants to remember her. It is in the end in his hand to remember the people near him how he wants to. Just like us, we can remember people how we want to remember them. Yuta had a uniqueness to him, which was coming out during his early high school years. His love for explosions and his love for fantasy. He simply added explosions because he thought they were awesome and there was something unique to them. People mocked him in his work because of that, making Yuta question his own identity. What is he? Is being unique such a bad thing? Due to Eri, he finally realizes that he is simply unique. He does not change his ways because they did not go well with the society, but in the end, simply continued to do what he liked to do. He established his own unique identity. He understood himself that he is unique and that he might not be liked by everyone for it, but at least he can like himself by being himself. He chose to remember his mother and Eri how he wanted to. In the same way, you should learn that you are unique. Not everything might go as you may want it to. Not everyone may like you, and it is truly acceptable. It works. Not everyone will be your friend, and you will also not like everyone. But you should do what makes you like yourself in the end. If you like this video essay, please consider subscribing. And if you would like to join a community of artists and mangaka or manga lovers, make sure to join my Discord. Thank you.